Yo, what is going on? It is May 21st, 2025. It's a late one today, and I'm just gonna try to get straight to the point so I can go to bed. So, first things first, a little frustrating today. So, I created the spreadsheet and everything for Brian. He wanted a student tracker for the million dollar mastermind, and then a spreadsheet, a student tracker for the 10K mastermind, which is just different levels that he has for different students, different people. So I made it, just duplicated it, and it was good to go. I sent it to him last night because he said he needed it yesterday. Didn't even text me back. And then this morning, he said, still nothing. So I text him, I say, hey, does this work for you? He says, yes, it does. That's it. So I was like, bro, what the fuck? So he sends a message in the group chat with me, him, and two other people. Oh, shit. And he says what did he say? I can't remember what it was. It was, I needed some updated data or something like that. And another person sent it. I put it in the form. Then that person said, hey, can we make the dates different? And then Brian was like, yeah, can we make the difference? We changed it. It's a little confusing. It could get messy. And it's just so interesting because it's like, no, it won't. It literally never will. Matter of fact, the less things on the screen, the less messy it will be. You're asking me to put more on the screen. All good, but it is what it is. Now, it's fine. If they don't want it, then I'll change it. Not a big deal. But what was frustrating is I went really deep in these formulas, got everything ready to go, and formulated to behave and act in a certain way. Then they said, oh, we need to track these things. We need to track this and this and this. It needs to be per day. It needs to be per week. And we need to track this as well. And we don't need the stars. We just need the colors. We just need this. Let's move the dates around, make it the full date, not just the number. And yeah, so they said all that after I had built the thing. And I was like, okay. That's okay as long as you understand that you're asking me to essentially start over. Because once I go real deep with these formulas, it is way easier to just restart than it is to try to change everything within the formula and try to back my way out. So if I were to just essentially start from scratch, that would be the easiest way to do it. So essentially what happens is you tell me to build something, I build it, and then you say you want 20 different things added, removed, changed, whatever. That's okay, but now I have to restart. And I said this in the group chat. I said, hey, don't mistake this for complaining. However, moving forward, let's make sure that we get everything that you need, and I mean everything. And I emphasized everything with the text effects in iPhone. And I mean everything before I start building it. That way I don't have to back myself out and essentially start from scratch. Not complaining, you just, as long as you understand that's the case, then we're good, but kind of sucks. They said, yeah, absolutely. From here on out, we'll give you a big old list of things so that way you have stuff to work on. You know what to work on. And I was like, okay, cool, thanks. So all I said was thank you. I also read somewhere that when somebody apologizes to you, if you just hit them with a thank you or I appreciate that, it's a lot more like, oh shit, yeah, I fucked up, as opposed to being like, oh yeah, no problem, bro, I appreciate it, because it's like, oh yeah, cool. But if you say thank you or I appreciate it, it just sends a different message. And I mean, I almost felt like an asshole even saying that, rather than, oh, no worries, I appreciate it. I said thank you, period. That's it. So I don't know, some psychology right there for you. But so I got that done. Only worked about an hour for Brian today. And as far as Mina goes, I found out some crazy shit that you can do with AI and a whole bunch of stuff. I worked officially for 2 hours for him today, but I think unofficially it was probably closer to 8. The reason for that is because I spent so much time of my own time just trying to learn more about Notion and how it can improve the systems and structure and stuff like that. And yeah, I did it on my own time because I love it so much. I just want to do it, So what I did a big chunk of what I did was I created, let's see, 1, 2, 12, 14 different things that I could do on a day-to-day basis. And I'm going to, I say I'm going to pitch Mina the idea for me to work 5 hours a day for 6 days a week for 30 hours. We'll see. I don't know if that'll happen anytime soon, but that's the goal. So I was trying to come up with a whole lot of things that I could do on a day-to-day basis to justify the time. So came up with 14 different things. I'm not going to go into detail on those. As I was writing those, I was like, oh, that could be a project. So I came up with 6 different projects, and these would be big ones. It'll probably take a lot of time for me to do. Then there's process improvements and ideas. I only came up with 3 of those as of right now. And then there is software considerations for the future, which again, there's only 4 there. So just small little improvements, and I'm just trying to track this all so I can present this to him and say, hey, 5 hours a day is warranted. Ideally I work like 10 hours a day for him or something like that for the time being. Truthfully speaking, let's see, let me think about this. Truthfully speaking here, anything more than 5 hours would be way more than ideal. So I think 5 to 8, that's a sweet spot. And then after that, I can work on my own stuff and continue learning coding and doing all that stuff so I can make some badass software. So anyway, we'll get there. I think it's a work in progress because as long as I am getting, what would it be? I think as long as I'm getting, I can't remember what it was. By the end of this resignation, I think I would need to be at like 6 hours a day in order to not have to get another job. Or I think I'd be fine working what I'm working now. Well, I think working 4 to 5 hours a day and then working FedEx on the part-time on the weekends or something like that. I think that would be how I stay afloat. But I'm definitely not going to have to go get some big full-time job again, which is awesome if this stays up. With Mina, 100% it will. With Brian, I don't know. I do these. Don't tell me that you need it done ASAP and then not text me about it the next day. Dude, like, don't do that. That's so dick. At least lie to me. Just text me and say, hey, we got it going or something like that. But to say, hey, this is I need this done ASAP, get it done today. And then for me to drop everything, get it done, and then for him to not even say anything for a full day until the next day, dude, I just think that's fucked up. Don't do that. Don't frantically call someone and say that they have to be there at 5 p.m. And when they get there, it's like, oh, no, you actually don't have to be here till tomorrow. So it's like, what, bro? What? Anyway, so discover some cool shit with ME Fit, which is if you go to the conversations between clients and the coaches, and if you just highlight the entire conversation and copy it and put it into ChatGPT with a big prompt that says to give it to extract some data, it will. And so what I was able to do, and this is absolutely crazy, is I was able to pull out how many messages Mina sent, how many messages Andrew sent, who is a assistant coach, head or a client or a training specialist coach, whatever you want to call him. How many messages they both sent combined, and then how many messages the client sent. And I can control the date, so I did the last month. So, for example, this client, so between the coaches, there was 20 messages sent. The client sent 13. The client asked 3 questions, and I told it to count question marks. And if they're in succession, then it would only count as 1. So if somebody says, how much food do I eat with 30,000 question marks, that would be 1. But if they said, how much shit do I drink and how much food do I eat shit, that would be 2 question marks, not in succession. So that would be 2 questions. So this client asked 3 questions in the last month. The average word count for a message between Mina and Andrew was an average of 45. The longest message Mina sent was 91 words. The longest message that Andrew sent was also 91 words. That's crazy. Shortest message that Mina sent was 6 words. Shortest message that Andrew sent was 15 words. Average word count for the client was 23. Longest was 62. Shortest was 1. And this is the cool part. This is the cool part. We can get a lot of data and track a lot of data with. The average reply time for us to respond to the client was an hour and a half. The average reply time the average reply time for the client to get back to us was 3 hours. That's the average. Now, there's no way, I don't think, for me to have it analyze the messages and tell me when it thinks that the conversation ended. Maybe I can. I'll have to try. So if I say, for example, it being so late now, if I were to send somebody a message and then they respond, but I don't get back to them tomorrow, it's going to say that, there's like an 8-hour time delay to get back to them. But that's not true. It's just like we're sleeping. So maybe what I'll do is I'll have it say skip the hours of, and then skip the hours. They don't count those hours. Maybe that'll fix the numbers. I don't know. But anyway, point being, I came up with this prompt, put it in a project in ChatGPT. Then I copied and pasted the conversation, put it in there, and extracted all this data for me. So now what I can do is I can do this for 10, 20 different conversations per day, put it into a spreadsheet, extract the data, find the trend line, so I can see, okay, in May this person asked 30 questions. In June they only asked 4. In July, they only asked 1. In August, September, October, they didn't ask any. So they fallen off or whatever, and you can compare that to other metrics, So there's a lot that we can do with this data. It's very simple to get. I just had to think outside the box a little bit. And there's a lot that you can do with this. It's very overwhelming to think about, but it is also very exciting. And if I'm on the clock getting paid for this shit, dude, hell yeah. So I sent all of this to Mina as I went along, and he got back to me about 2 hours ago, around 8 o'clock, and he says, sorry, man, I've been all over the place today. I'll check this tomorrow morning. So hopefully I wake up tomorrow to a text or something like that says he went through everything, because I'm fired up about this shit, dude. This is cool as fuck. So, because you can just AI, dude. AI is some cool shit. Just very cool. So came up with that, sent it to him, pretty pumped about it. And, So I was just trying to come up with different things I could do for the team, improve things, all that stuff. And that's what I did. So I don't think there's anything else I want to say. I want to end the show, I think. I'm really tired. I'm on track to be paid out $49 from PT Domination, which is Brian. It would be $549, but they subtract $500 from the CLA, so it's a bummer. But yeah, it's $49 payout. So if I just keep this going, I'll get a little bit of a payout, which is nice. So the goal is to get in 20 more hours or 19 more hours now for the rest of the month, and that would give me, what did I say that would get me? Give me $600. So a little bit of a payment, but being in charge of all this stuff and coming up with all these ideas and making Notion templates and all this, very exciting stuff for me. I love this stuff so much. I love this stuff. So hopefully we can figure something out for getting me more hours. Also, did we just hit 6,500 streams? Is that what I'm seeing? Haha. Oh, no. Well, by the time whoever is listening hears this, it'll be 6,500. We have 6,496. So I'm actually just going to update that in the log right now. We're going to go... Oh, wait. 6,500. Where the fuck is it? 6,500. How many days between the 29th and today? So that'd be... My voice keeps cracking, dude. Why? Siri, how many days ago was April 29th?
It was 22 days ago.
Okay. 22 days to... So it's May. It's May 21st right now, but by the time it hits it's going to be May 22nd. Latest episode uploaded would be 580. I need to put this into a spreadsheet. What am I doing? I'm doing this on a Word doc. All right, well, let's open up. Where the fuck is it? Let's open up Todoist. Let's add that in there. Put the podcast tracker into a spreadsheet instead of a doc. Boom, done. Okay, cool. All right. We are almost to episode 600, dude. That's pretty crazy. We are slowly approaching the 2-year mark. Matter of fact, when I go to the Lorna Shore concert, there's a Lorna Shore concert coming. Dude, should I just play the Lorna Shore, their new single, for the outro? So they just dropped a song. It's called Oblivion. They also announced a tour for October 20th. That'll be episode 730. Might be 731 because there's a leap year in there. But, Siri, how many days until October 20th?
It's 152 days until then.
So it would be 732, I guess, because today would be, I don't know, who gives a fuck, dude? That'd be the 2-year mark. So on that day, I'm going to a concert, and I just want to say that we'll do some music stats real quick. This song came out last Friday. So it's, as of today, it's been out for 5 days. And this is crazy. Lifetime, okay? Lifetime of all my music ever listened to in the history of Bryson Sessions on Spotify. I have listened to this song. Dude, please fucking load, man. Where is it? Oblivion. Where is it? Oblivion. Right there. I have listened to this song in my whole life. It's the 87th most listened to song. I've listened to it for 458 minutes. If you go for this whole year, it is number 1. If you go this week, well, I guess if it's this, yeah, whatever. I'm going to go back to, let's see. Let's go 20. Let's change this to 2024, January 1st, 2024. It is my 7th most listened to song. Every song above that is from Lorna Shore. So let's change that to 2023 and see what it says. It is my 7th most listened to song since 20. That's insane, dude. Well, anyway, I just want to say that it's a fucking banger. And the coincidence of the date being the 2-year mark and then the concert of this show is just fucking sick. Let's fast forward a little bit. Let's just play this little intro. It's so good. Here it comes. Dude. Unreal. And the song is 8 minutes and 20 seconds long. Dude, unreal. I'm a huge fan. Now I'm just saying a whole bunch of random shit. That's the show. I would really like to go to bed. So, all right. Love you guys. Peace out. Bye-bye.